Now watch out, I might trick you with this one. It's not going to start with I will. This one's going to start with I must. Before I die. Just write it. I must. Before I die. In other words, what you could do is you could go home tonight, Debbie, and you could write that out. I must, space, before I die. You could go out and write, you could write out that out, Michelle, 5 times. You could write it out 10 times. You could write it out 50 times. And the bottom line is, guys, what is it that you want to accomplish on this planet before you die? What is the legacy that you want to leave? And one of the things that you hear me say a lot this weekend, Joseph, is that today is the first day of the rest of your lives as millionaire real estate wealth builders. And what if I changed that ever so slightly? Cheryl and I said, what if today is the last day of the rest of your life? Now, guys, nothing catastrophic is going to happen to any of us in this room. And let's just suggest for a moment that we knew in 30 days our time on this planet was up. I mean, in 24 hours. Let's just say you knew you got 24 hours left and that's it. Would your focus maybe be a little bit different than what it is right now? In Cheryl, if you knew you had 24 hours left on this planet, would there be some very specific things that you would want to accomplish in the next 24 hours? And is there anything that could prevent you from accomplishing some of those things? I don't think so. See, that is called focus. That is called focusing like a laser beam. Because the bottom line, guys, is we don't know when our time's up. That's why you got to be action takers when? Now. You got to be willing to make a difference when? Tomorrow might be too late. And I will tell you, about 90 days ago, I had a near-death experience on an airplane. And I've been flying for about 13 years all over the country. And I'm in Hartford, Connecticut. There was a really, really bad ice storm the night before. My flight was canceled from the night before. They booked me on the 7:30 flight. We get on the plane and they're de-icing the plane. And the pilot starts the motors up and he revs these motors up at a level that I've never ever heard before, just sitting on the tarmac. And then he backs the motors off. And then he revs them up again. Then he backs the motors off. Then he revs them up again. And he backs the motors off. And I've been flying for 13 years. And I look at the person right beside me and I said, that's not normal. Now, this plane takes off. We get to about 5,000 feet. There's an explosion. The wing starts to shake. It feels like my seat's going to rattle out of my chair. And what happened was the left side motor died. And then you hear it trying to fire back up. It's going, and each time it's like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. I thought the wing was going to fall off the airplane. And when the motor died, the plane started going like this. And everybody goes, we're turning. And I said, no, we're falling. Motor fires back up. Plane starts to ascend again. Boom, sounds like a loud explosion. Motor dies again. Plane starts to fall. This happened 4 times. Now, it probably happened 4 times in about a 7-minute period of time. Felt like a lifetime. Felt like a lifetime. Now, when this happened, I said, dear God, 12 years of flying, 13 years of flying, and today's the day you're going to take me? And I just prayed. And what I said was, as I made peace, I said, I've lived a very, very blessed life, very, very thankful for the life that I've lived. I said, please take care of the people that I love and my children. Because, guys, I believed at that moment that my time was up. I was incredibly focused. And I was at peace. Because I have lived a very, very blessed life. And I know that I've left a legacy for my family. So I realize, guys, that story can be a little difficult. And if you get really, really focused on the things that you want to accomplish in this life before you die. And if you woke up every single day of your life and you said, today I'm going to live like it's my last day. I couldn't wait to get home to hug my family, guys, after that flight. So I think about that every day. Now, I will tell you, the pilot comes on the phone and he says, we have a problem with the left side motor. I'm like, yeah, we all know that. And he says at higher RPMs, we have a compression problem, the motor stalls. He says at a lower RPM, the motor right now is running. He said, but we are no longer flying, we are descending. In other words, we were in landing mode. He says, we have 17 minutes. He didn't say before we hit the ground, but that's exactly what he meant. He said, we have 17 minutes. He says, we can be in Philadelphia in 14. Now, I've flown into the Philadelphia airport probably 50 or 100 times over the last 13 years, and when they flew this plane in, they flew it right over the top of the river at about 50 feet all the way in. Because in case that motor died again, that pilot was going to land us on that river. Guys, there are defining moments in our life that change everything. And sometimes we recognize when those moments come, and sometimes we don't. Guys, let this weekend be your defining moment. Let this weekend be the reason why wherever you're at in your life, you take your life to the next level. Become a difference maker for the people in your lives that you love and care about. That's why you're here. Maybe you didn't realize that's why you're here when you came here, but I'm telling you, that's why you're here. And if you don't become the catalyst of change for your family, who's gonna? How many of you believe you might be here for a reason this weekend? Let's make sure that we capitalize on those opportunities, and we will.